Is Gaza heading toward a civil war? Well, it all started with the kidnapping of the son of a senior Hamas leader. Here's how it unfolded. In the early hours of October 11, 2025, fierce overnight clashes erupted in Gaza City's Tal al-Hala neighborhood. Members of the Dagmash clan kidnapped Naheem and Salah al-Jafarawi, a journalist, near the Jordanian Field Hospital, a hotspot where intense battles between the clan and Hamas forces were raging. The collapse of Hamas's territorial control, combined with the power vacuum caused by the recent war with Israel and widespread devastation across the Gaza Strip, triggered long-standing rivalries and armed uprisings. The kidnapped men, son of a senior Hamas leader, were interrogated, their possessions seized, and then executed by Dagmash gunmen who had been waiting for Hamas fighters to emerge from tunnels nearby. This ambush and execution were part of a broader armed standoff between the Dagmash clan and Hamas security forces. But why is Gaza heading toward a civil war? While this is Gaza and the Middle East, no expert can really predict what will happen the next day. Here are the main clans that are fighting against the Palestinian militants. The Dagmash clan controls parts of Gaza City, especially the Tal al-Hala neighborhood and areas around the Jordanian hospital. The Abu Shabab clan is based in the southern city of Rafah, where they challenge Hamas authority and control key areas. The Fatah-affiliated Al-Mujahideen clan operates mainly in Khan Yunis, where they are engaged in clashes with Hamas forces. After the latest ceasefire and the weakening of Hamas control, several armed clans and factions openly defy Hamas authority. The breakdown of basic services, soaring hunger, and rampant looting have heightened local frustration, especially as humanitarian aid convoys have been targeted and seized by clan-backed gangs, notably the Abu Shabab clan in the south. The Abu Shabab clan, based in Rafah, has actively resisted Palestinian militant attempts to reassert control, targeting aid convoys and fighting Hamas fighters in the southern Gaza Strip. Israel's campaign struck hard, destroying much of Gaza's infrastructure and making it nearly impossible to maintain law and order. Meanwhile, in Khan Yunis, the Fatah-affiliated Al-Mujahideen clan has clashed with Palestinian militant operatives, accusing them of collaborating with Israel and looting humanitarian aid. These confrontations have involved kidnappings, killings, and refusals to hand over suspects. Since Israel's most recent offensive, more than a dozen new armed groups, criminal gangs, and local militias, some linked to Fatah or criminal syndicates, have emerged, adding further complexity and volatility to Gaza's already volatile situation. But what led to the downfall of this Palestinian militant group? Well, first of all, Israel has been systematically dismantling Hamas leadership from the top to the bottom since the October 7 attack. Here is an animation showing how Israel's strategy uses brute force to eliminate a single target, such as a commander whose office is located on the second floor while his residence is on the top floor. Unbeknownst to him, Israeli intelligence was closely monitoring his movements and communications. They then intercepted his phone calls and knew exactly where he is, which played a crucial role in the assassination plot. The intercepted call was manipulated to deliver a false directive, instructed the commander to return to his residence on the top floor of his building. The urgency of the message was designed to make the commander believe it was a matter of immediate importance. This clever ruse was a deliberate attempt to isolate the commander in a specific location, ensuring that the strike would be as effective as possible. The plan succeeded as soon as confirmation was received that the commander had entered his 7th floor apartment. The final phase of the operation was set into motion. An aircraft, possibly an F-16, was dispatched to carry out the precision strike. Equipped with a laser-guided bomb, similar to the highly advanced Spice weapon, the aircraft locked onto the target. The free-fall guided weapon, traveled with pinpoint accuracy, was released and struck the building with devastating force, causing a massive explosion that destroyed the 7th floor and claimed the life of the commander and many civilians living in it. At 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, October 16th, a soldier from the battalion of the Bislamak Brigade noticed a suspicious figure moving in and out of a building in Rafah's Sultan neighborhood. The soldier immediately informed the battalion commander, who assessed the situation. After evaluating the threat, the commander gave the order to open fire on the structure. The gunfight with the militants inside the building were relentless and not surrendering. Around 3 o'clock in the evening, a drone identified 3 individuals attempting to exit the building and move from house to house, using the structures as cover. 2 of these figures moved in front of the IDF line of fire to protect the 3rd figure. This in turn cleared the path for the 3rd individual, who was Sinwar, a high-value target which the IDF didn't know. The situation involved two key buildings. Building A is one where Sinwar's bodyguards had taken up positions, and the other structure B to which Sinwar moved. It was at this moment that the IDF forces targeted both buildings. They first opened fire on the structure where the bodyguards were positioned, using machine gun fire to neutralize the threat and clear a path. The operation accidentally isolated Sinwar, who had relocated to the second building. As the situation unfolded, the IDF tanks, shell, and ground forces coordinated their efforts. After firing on the first building, they reloaded and redirected their fire towards the second building where Sinwar had taken cover. Sinwar moved to the second floor of this building in an attempt to evade capture. A tank then fired another shell, hitting the building, while an infantry platoon moved up to secure and search the area. During their approach, Sinwar threw 2 grenades at the advancing soldiers. One grenade exploded, forcing the soldiers to retreat temporarily for their safety. It was this moment. A drone was then deployed to survey the room. It spotted a man with an injured arm and a covered face identified as Sinwar. As the drone hovered, Sinwar threw a wooden stick at it in an attempt to disable the device. In response, the IDF forces fired another tank shell at Sinwar's location, ensuring they maintained control of the situation. It was at this moment the whole building was partially destroyed and the figure was crushed by the rubbles. This is Scenario 2. In the south of Gaza, the IDF deployed a significant number of Namur infantry fighting vehicles in the operation. These vehicles were equipped with high-caliber guns and missiles mounted on their tops, allowing for both heavy firepower and precision strikes. According to reports from an IDF soldier, the forces targeted the building where Sinwar was believed to be hiding. They launched a missile from one of the Namur IFVs, striking the structure with huge explosion. To verify the success of the strike, the IDF then deployed a drone to inspect the aftermath and confirm whether Sinwar had been killed. On Wednesday, October 16th, the troops were unaware that the individual they were targeting was Sinwar himself. When the drone entered the demolished building, it captured footage of a man with his face covered, but did not know he was a high-value target. In response, the IDF directed additional fire at his location. This concentrated fire ultimately eliminated Sinwar. It wasn't until the next day, Thursday, October 17th, when IDF soldiers arrived on the scene, that they confirmed the identity of the individual killed as Sinwar. The soldier reporting the event noted that this confirmation was based on visual inspection, once they were physically at the site. However, out of caution, the troops suspected that the building might have been booby-trapped. To avoid any casualties from potential explosives, they chose not to remove the corpse immediately. Instead, they retrieved a part of Sinwar's finger and sent it to Israel for DNA testing to confirm his identity. Later that same day, after conducting thorough checks and ensuring the area was safe from any remaining threats or traps, the IDF managed to extract Sinwar's body. The remains were then transported to Israel for further examination and handling. Let's look at Scenario 1 of how Israel used this strategy by planting explosives. It typically consists of a remote controller and a main warhead, which is composed of explosives, a plastic binder, a plasticizer to make it malleable, and usually a marker or odorizing taggant chemical. Although small C4 can destroy a room with a blast radius of around 4 to 20 feet. Here's how it might have worked. The agents, as suggested, placed the bomb in all 3 rooms 2 months ago. Then, when the time was right, it returned to the desired area near the mountain and activated the explosive from a safe distance by hitting the switch, taking out Hania and his bodyguard, along with the destruction of this part of the room. Let's take a look at Scenario 2. There were reports from some witnesses that an object was seen flying from the mountainous region and exploded late at night. The object we're talking is this spike-long-range multi-purpose anti-tank missile system is designed to engage modern armored vehicles, double reinforced fortifications, and enemy personnel at any time of day and in difficult weather conditions. This missile has a range of 200 meters to 4 kilometers, which is well below the guest house. Here are the various parts of the missile. The homing head of the missile, known as the Spike ER, is located in the nose section. Behind it, there is an electronics unit and a leading charge of the cumulative warhead, followed by the main engine. In the central part of the missile's hull, there is a gyroscope and an accumulator battery, the main charge of the warhead with a safety and arming mechanism, and a fuse. The folding steering fins open as soon as they are out of the launcher. Steering drives, launch engine, and fiber optic cable reel are located in the missile's tail section. This is how it might have happened. Around 2 a.m., approximately 2 operatives began moving closer to the building, staying within a range of around 2.4 miles, which is around 4 kilometers. Once in position, the assassin or alleged Mossad operative activated the missile system. They used thermal imaging to see in the dark and guided the missile through an optical wire. This technology allowed the operator to precisely control the missile's trajectory, even in low visibility conditions. The view from the scope likely provided the operative with a clear visual of the target, guiding the missile towards its destination. The missile, as described, has 2 warheads, a precursor warhead at the front and the main warhead at the rear. The precursor warhead is designed to penetrate reinforced structures, such as double-layered concrete walls. Upon breaching the initial barrier, the main warhead then detonates inside the room, causing significant damage. The power and impact of the missile could have potentially destroyed 3 rooms in the guest house. It's important to note that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard reported that a short-range projectile weighing 7 kilograms was launched from outside the compound, consistent with the described attack. This information aligns with the possibility of an external assault using a missile system like the Spike. And the final third scenario involves using a stealth fighter jet like the F-35. However, Iran's air defense forces include the S-300, a Russian long-range surface-to-air missile defense system. Iran purchased the S-300 from Russia in late 2016 for $800 million. Given this, I doubt Israel would risk a $100 million aircraft for a single target, such as this guest house in Tehran, especially considering the potential for being targeted from every angle. Therefore, what I think is happening is that a short-range missile, like this one, might be used instead, but in the fog of war, any one of these could be a possibility. We make original 4K 3D animation with a small team of animators, so please support us by subscribing and dropping in a comment for more exclusive engineering animations made just for you guys.